auntie into a I'm in the S5 facing cuffy, cause I can't name that guy but me. Tryna slow down my motion. It's ready, you cannot control this. You gonna blow it. Them, they not important. I'm the one goated. Me, I'm the one goated. Me, I'm the one goated. Me, I'm the one goated. Tryna slow down my motion. It's ready, you cannot control this. You gonna blow it. Them, they not important. Me, I'm the one goated. 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 I got it.
From the site that many call the loudest in the NFL, we are inside GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Finger on the like, ayy, 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 ayy. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Their spot like, ayy, 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 ayy. I gotta get it, man. Shout out, I'm fully committed like, ayy. I studied the target, I'm never gonna miss it. I call that precision like, ayy. Shooting my shot like, ayy. Hit the red dot like, ayy. Finger on the like, ayy, 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 ayy. Grandma was in A, auntie was in it, ayy. Mama had AAA. I wasn't scared to crash anyone anyway. I ride a shotty while bro had to get away. I gotta penetrate, I gotta generate. I got like 20 some years to my hood, now I gotta go live away. I'm out of town, but I'm not on the getaway. I spin a giveaway. You mean I'm the generous king for real? I the sleep, then I light up the street, got screaming like Billie Jean for real. I'm from the M, I got M's in the bank and M's in all my streams for real. Feeling like Phil, they be living like Carlton if I leave him in the wheel. Shooting my shot like EA Sports coverage of the National Football League comes to you from Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, Michigan. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Ford Field. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback.
First run of the game for Jahmyr Gibbs, the Alabama product.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Another run for Gibbs here.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he is finally taken down, but not before he gets it to the Eagles' 23-yard line. 36 yards on the play. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now it's Goff off the bootleg.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Eagles are going to get the football back at their own 17.
Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
2nd down, here's Barkley again.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
Hurts.
And this one is incomplete.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann.
Back deep, Khalif Raymond. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They had a good drive going their first time out, ended with the interception. The good news is they get kind of a mulligan because we're still at 0-0.
They certainly do, and you notice he spent a lot of time on the phone. You know, and I know he wasn't talking to mom and dad on that when he was talking to the eyes upstairs, talking to the coaching staff. Guaranteed, what did you see? What was I doing? How do we make sure that doesn't happen again in this ball game?
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Gibbs straight ahead.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd and 4.
To throw is Goff.
He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now a timeout called for by the defense.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down.
We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Well, it looked like they were trying to get him outside there, but this defense had different plans.
Yeah, they really had an outside-in kind of a pass rush. It's almost like when you're covering a punt. You can't let him get to the outside and get to the sideline. You force him to stay in the middle of the field, and they did exactly that and made the play.
Here we go on 4th. Goff.
And that's going to be incomplete.
The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Eagles defense able to hold. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. Now a toss right to Barkley. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Now Hurts going to shift him around a bit.
On 2nd and 11 now. Hurts. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here's Hurts to throw. He's got his target. That's complete.
Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Devontae Smith.
41 yards.
And the Eagles post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it in.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there for Detroit. 44 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Goff. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Jamison Williams. 33 yards. And the Lions are an extra point away from drawing level. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Britton Covey going to bring it out of his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts.
as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A first down carry for Barkley. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32.
2nd and 9. They go play action with Hurts.
Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Carlton Davis picks it.
And the Lions are going to take over at their own 41.
That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. On first down, it's gone.
Throw left side, caught by Laporta.
The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
It's a well-designed play here. 3 wide receivers in the formation. They're all going to run deep routes to put pressure on the safeties, and then they let their tight end cut his route off a little shorter and work toward the middle of the field. That's a difficult route to try to defend.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Just beating the play clock is Goff. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Well, a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17.
Here's Goff. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic.
And that's caught inside the 35. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 31. A give to Barkley out of the gun. Touchdown! touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley, 31 yards.
And the Eagles come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Well, we've said it many times. He is always a threat to go the distance anytime he's got the ball in his hands. And on this occasion, he did just that.
Well, he's definitely the guy that makes this offense go. And when you're an RB1, running back one, you've got to be willing to be patient at times as well. Not every run's going to be the home run we saw there. But once you get that opportunity and that opening, you take full advantage.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, Charles, you and I said at intermission, feels like we're set up for a good second half. Well, the other side scored. Now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the second half?
Well, bottom line is they just saw the ball go in the end zone against their defense, and they saw what good offense looks like. They believe they've got a good offense as well. Run the best plays you've got to the top performers you have, and try to move that ball down the field for an answering score.
Going back to Gibbs on first down.
And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory.
They'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1.
Goff now to throw.
That's to the tight end, Laporta.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Well, every lineman knows the rule. You only get a 1-yard buffer beyond that line of scrimmage, and then the flag is thrown, and he got tagged for it there. On 2nd down, here's Gibbs.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Gibbs will try and pick it up.
And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. Montgomery, they'll run for it. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long.
On play action, they'll throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Charles, still a one-possession game. Remember, it could have been two after they opted to go for it on fourth down in their own territory. Didn't get it, but their defense holds strong, and so this is a huge possession coming up here.
You're certainly right about that, partner, and a lot of people look at them going for it on fourth down as a failure when they didn't get it. But there's also their way of saying, hey, we have confidence in our defense because they went out and held them, got the ball right back for them. So nice stand for them. Momentum can swing back to their side if they have a good drive here.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Goff on third down. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground.
There he goes, right side. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 88 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. In motion right is Brown.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down.
Smith in motion right.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Goff now looking to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
On the give, here's Gibbs. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
Goff going to shift him around.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it.
And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, and pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach. All game long, all practice long, every meeting, get the football. That's what they want.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
Second and 11.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Flushed out right. And he's got his big tight end here. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll set up a throw.
And that should do it. He's got a 1st down. And the Eagles, they can run it out from here. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 13.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Well, so much for getting separation. No chance there. Locked down tight, forcing the incompletion on that attempt.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that not just important in the fact that it widens their lead, but really that was a textbook job of just hanging on to the football.
And we know all the time that coaches talk about time of possession. Sometimes it's a stat that doesn't matter much, but in this drive, it matters a lot. They want to reduce time and score points and lock this game down.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
This is 1st and 10. Now they'll audible to something else.
Goff now to throw.
That's complete to Laporta. And he's going to pick up a 1st down here as that clock continues to run. Gibbs straight ahead.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
Here comes 2nd down.
One last throw here for Goff. He's going to let it fly. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win them the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little, too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
And he missed it. It wouldn't have mattered. They were going to lose either way, but the game ends strangely on a missed PAT.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.